Is that good?
Yeah, you got your paper of the ideas.
Right. Hopefully I didn't. Oh, I smudged it.
Uh-oh.
Don't say anything. She's gonna be mad.
She's gonna just be like Zerko was over earlier.
It was Zerka. All right, we good? Or should I go?
Yeah, you're in good frame actually.
All right, what do you want to start off with? We should start with a banger.
What's the most recent one? Yeah, start off with a banger.
Okay, the banger. Uzi features on Ken and Lone. So technically, Uzi hasn't featured on a Lone song just yet, I don't think. But Lone and Ken were on the song too, so it's like kind of both.
So all three of them have been in a song.
So yeah, Uzi, Ken, and Lone have all been in a song before Carti. Thoughts?
Hold on. So you're telling me that Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson, and Uzi were on a song together already?
Yep.
In one song.
On Ken Carson's album.
So Uzi has been on Ken Carson's stuff once.
Yes, and he brought them out on stage with him in like Korea or something. And Carti has done that since. And he was even at Ken Carson's release party for his album. But just overall, Uzi's like, I think before Pink Tape, there was a vlog with Montreality maybe. And Ken and Lone were there too for his release party. Carti was nowhere to be seen.
Damn, so is Uzi getting pimped out by Carti or what? What are your thoughts?
I think, in a way, Uzi's getting cucked right now.
Is he getting cucked or is Carti just pimping, his guys out? Because it would be cucked if,
Well, pimping in a way would say Ken and Lone are helping Uzi, right?
No,
like they're providing a service, like they're pimping them out. If it was pimping out, it would be like Carti is pimping out his relationship with Uzi to Ken and Lone.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, so yes.
Yeah, honestly, because I don't know what Carti has done for Uzi since. I mean, Uzi with these guys is a big look, but I also feel like on top of that, it's kind of a spit in the face where it's like, it's kind of putting Uzi beneath him, whether it's intentional or not. He's like, hey, you're with my artist before I give my artist a feature.
I agree.
So like, I'm the pinnacle. Yeah. We haven't reached the top of the pyramid. We haven't reached the apex predator yet. We're on like the third level, the fourth level.
Right.
And they've got to get to you first, and then they can get to me, which is the top level.
Right. He's like the final boss. Yeah, it's so weird because, and look, everyone watching this, I'm not disrespecting Uzi. It's just like analysis. But Uzi also featured on Sofago's album before Travis Scott.
Yeah, but that's an understandable Uzi.
How?
A little. Uzi's ranked under Travis Scott for sure in terms of clout, popularity. I think the difference is Uzi at one point was significantly more popular than Carti.
Right.
And then they kind of like
Travis, he started out, he was already popping before Uzi.
To a degree, yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
Like he came out like 2012.
Yeah, but he's like leagues above Uzi now. Several leagues. Popularity, clout, shows, everything.
Commercial.
But Uzi and Carti, they're kind of like coexisting, right? It's kind of like, for example, like Uzi and Carti is like Travis and Young Thug. Now, Travis is way bigger than Young Thug, but when Travis and Young Thug, they went on tour, they did Pick Up the Phone together, they did all these songs together,
they had number ones together. Was Pick Up the Phone number one?
Nah, it actually was a sleeper hit. It didn't blow up until like way later.
Oh, okay.
Or like over time it went up.
Yeah.
So they were like together. You see them as a unit. Not as much anymore, but that was a thing at one point in time. And that's like Uzi and Carti. So I don't think it's necessarily bad that Uzi was with Sofago. That makes more sense because there's like the whole Pink thing. I do think Sofago benefited from it a lot, but Uzi's known to give smaller artist features. Like he gave
he's like the
Corvette guy a feature.
He's a stepfather in like the underground space.
Yeah.
I kind of think Trippie Redd wanted to be on that too.
On that album?
No, like featuring on or like giving looks to these artists, but it's just weird how like some people are perceived one way in their cosign, and then other people when they cosign the same person, like say Drake, he just cosigned Ken Carson on his Instagram story. And then everyone's like, no, keep him away. And it's like, he's the biggest artist in the world. Why wouldn't you want that collab or like something.
Yeah, but I think that audience thinks Drake is like corny or lame.
Yeah.
Or they
'Cause
think
hate
Drake's
mainstream.
fans are corny and lame, and they're like, yo, this is our thing. We want it to be like underground. I think that's why like Suicide Boys are so lit, because they've never had that look, so their fans are like, yo, these are our guys.
So what you're saying is like credibility wise, it's good to never go mainstream.
No,
like,
I think your audience is more rabid. Your
you
core
stay away.
fans are more rabid the longer you're not mainstream.
So why didn't they say anything about Cardi doing Pain 1993, doing a pop song with The Weeknd and the Madonna?
I totally forgot about that shit.
I actually love those songs, but even though
Pain 1993, I remember, but
Yeah.
that other song, I totally forgot that even happened.
yeah,
I think it's maybe they wanted him to catch up to Uzi at that time, because he was below Uzi at that point.
who's they?
The fans, because there's like I feel like everyone at one point in time that either is more on Cardi's side now or on Uzi's side now liked both.
Right, they were like a duo.
Yeah, and then they just leaned more so to one side, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I like this guy."
I was
more.
a bigger Uzi guy before.
Yeah, I'm still a Uzi guy.
I found Cardi from Uzi.
I found them independently of each other, but I like them together a lot. I don't think we're ever going to see the project with them.
Oh no,
That's never.
I don't think. See, that's why I think I know Cardi. I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but like what I told you earlier, Cardi pulled his feature from Pink Tape 3 days before. Like I just feel like in general, his interactions with Uzi. If I was Uzi, yes, you want the 1629 collab because you know it's like a guaranteed hit. But at the same time, just like a respect thing of yourself, like dignity, I just wouldn't put up with that.
Do you think that Uzi is kind of not oblivious, but
he knows.
he doesn't know what's going on? Do you think he's
Nah,
just
I'm
like,
sure he
man, I'm
knows.
just doing him a favor? Or like, for example, when he pulls his feature, do you think he's like, fuck, that sucks, but like he got me later? Or do you think like he's upset by that?
So, I mean, from what I heard, and take this with a grain of salt, of course, but
I didn't hear anything.
I already talked about it on the stream, but like he did get mad, and like what? Again, if you're dropping an album, the reason was because Cardi was on like the baby voice shit, and then now he's doing more low voice, so it's not cohesive with his brand. And you do have to give it to Cardi; he's just on point with his brand at all times.
Yeah.
So I get it, but you can't hit up your boy that you grew with 3 days before their album and be like, yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of cold. I'm not going to lie.
But anyway, so I think it's more of like regarding the Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, Uzi being more involved in their careers than Cardi. Like I feel like even though Uzi's still bigger than Cardi, I feel like long term, and Uzi has way bigger hits, so maybe his royalties would be higher just long term. But Cardi's like solidifying his career even outside of being an artist and the label part, where Uzi has not really started. I think he's signed a couple producers at this point, but he's kind of letting that slide, you know? Like he's kind of fucking himself over in that way. Like he could have, if he started a label in 2018, 2019, co-signed an artist, they'd be booming right now.
Yeah, but maybe Uzi's number one, not necessarily selfish and doesn't want to...
I don't think he's selfish at all.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to put an artist underneath him that he knows he can't deliver on. So for example, like Uzi's way more social in the industry than Cardi. Like I think he's like a happier guy. He's around everyone all the time. I think Cardi genuinely doesn't want to be around people. Is better off, enjoys staying at one location for extended periods of time. And that's conducive for a guy that can build a label and work with... Because like I know some people that work directly with Cardi, not on any music stuff, but like stuff for his label. And they're like, yeah, he's very involved when
With their careers,
when
their
it comes
aesthetic.
to everything with the label. And that's a whole nother job. And I think Uzi just enjoys the lifestyle of being an artist more than the label side of it and curating other artists. And maybe I think why he gave them the features and didn't pull the features is because Uzi could have pulled it. I think Uzi's maybe actually close to these guys
Yeah.
and like likes them. and he's like, man, you know, like I'm not gonna harm or penalize you guys for what this guy did to me. Like that would be kind of like lame of me. So I think he just let it rock.
At the same time, too, I feel like Uzi might also know how Carti goes, like how he treats his brand and music, and so he's understanding. Maybe he's mad at one point, but then he understands because like Carti was supposed to be on Offset's album, but then that dropped on the same day as Ken, and he did not clear that feature, and so Offset talked about it on some other podcast. I think it was like some Drink Champs or something. And Offset was just like, yeah, I know how he is, that kind of thing. So maybe Uzi feels the same way.
Don't you think it's better though for ideal situation, right? If I'm quarterbacking, I'm putting the play out. I'd rather Uzi and Carti have a single together than Carti just appear on an Uzi album. Because that's more of a big moment. Like obviously the tape or the project is not going to happen, but a single with both of them are like, hey, we're coming together for this song, that has way more of an impact than just being a single or just being another track on an album or project.
Well, so yes, in some cases, like if he was a female artist, like where they push singles a lot, but I feel like a lot of male artists are like, yes, the single might get more streams and more impact by itself than if it was on a project. But I feel like in the hip hop industry, they want to sell their album because that's where, like, overall they'll get more streams on the project. You get what I'm saying? Like the net positive will be greater on the album. Like Carti was on Travis Scott's album Fiend. The song was Fiend on Utopia. And then that song, that was not a single, and it's one of the highest performing songs now, competing with like the Drake one, the Bad Bunny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he performs, they both perform that, and it has a huge impact. So
but I think kind of like the reasoning why I came to that conclusion is if you look at the hype that the Trippy song with Carti had. And that was a big splash.
They kind of fumbled that though.
Yeah, they did. But even with the fumbling, it was a big song. And a bunch of people still listen to that song or go back to that song.
It wasn't a single though, was it? It was. It was a music video too.
Yeah, and they look back on it favorably.
But that was like a big snippet. But I get what you're saying. Like if Uzi and Carti previewed a snippet,
yeah,
like that would go crazy. Yeah. I think if Carti did, even with his artist, though, that would go crazy. Maybe not as big as Uzi, though.
And then maybe it can be released on the project.
Yeah,
so that's another angle.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, man. It's just, I still think Uzi's getting cucked a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, it's, I
mean, I respect
overall, like, if I was Uzi, I would feel hurt by this.
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn, man, like, come on. Now, if you're Uzi, would you pull that track? I'm pulling that track. Sorry, Ken and Destroy Lonely.
I mean, again, it has to do with them, not necessarily Carti. So if he has a good relationship with them, which it does seem like he does, then yeah. But it is going into the pocket of Carti. I feel like Uzi needs to get something more long-term. Even though, again, he's probably living good off of his royalties regardless. But like Opium now is huge, right?
I mean, I'm just looking at it like, yo, I'm juicing these guys. The worst thing, if I'm Uzi, and this is just how I think, the worst thing that could happen to me is Playboi Carti not only comes behind me and now becomes bigger than me, which
Pause.
I still don't think is the case. Pause, yeah. Which I still don't think is the case. But let's say that happens, but one of his artists gets to my level. That's just a nightmare.
Yeah, because then he's underneath Carti.
Yeah.
So even if Carti doesn't drop any music, like just by the logic of it, Carti's above him now.
Yeah. And his artist is above him. He's like, my sons are now above
I don't know if they're going to get to his level, though.
I don't think so. I like that Destroy Lonely album, honestly.
Uzi, back in the day, was like, I think he was running shit.
But how long are we going to talk about back in the day?
I know.
I mean, these two guys are running stuff right now.
I don't think they're running shit the same level though. Nah.
No, not to the same level, but we have to like adjust, right?
Yeah, because
Like, who's more lit than those two right now?
Yeat.
Yeah, but Yeat's been in the game.
Ken started before Yeat, or at least like started bubbling. Yale came out in the first promo on like academics pages was
Yeah, but like Yeat broke through, so he's not even in their class anymore. Like Sofago's still in their class. And they lapped him.
sold 45. 40, 45. I feel like that's like going mainstream.
I mean,
Wink, wink.
yeah. I mean, can't argue.
And
that.
like technically, I know Yeat just got the potentially number one, but like his last album sold 52K.
Number two.
Well, number one globally.
We'll get into that after this.
But so that's in the same ballpark. 40 to 45 is like pretty close to 52, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeat's beating Offset though.
Is he? No, Offset's about to do 75.
What? I thought he was projected to sell like 50.
Nah, look it up. I think it might be 85 now.
Man, they saw that Ken Carson was out streaming him. They're like, oh, we need to push these.
They pushed the Trump red button. They're like, push the bot button.
Yeah. Oh my God. Because that would be embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, of course. I think they just wanted a fatter lead. They're like, yo, we got to get this up.
Offset first week. Hold up.
But I said this in a video, and I said, because people were like, yo,
You're right,
this Offset
85.
Yeah, they said this Offset single flops. Oh, it's not doing well. It's been weeks. I said that Offset was an albums artist. People like Offset projects.
I think it's like that for every rapper nowadays. Like who?
Bro, who's listening to a Quavo album? That shit sold like 24K.
No. I mean, like, I agree. I'm saying hip hop artists. I feel like hip hop fans are more inclined to listen to a project than singles, or like they perform better overall, unless you're a female artist.
Yeah, but some rappers have bigger singles. A lot of rappers have singles and an album perform well, or at least a single and an album perform well. Lil Baby.
But like, we're not talking about the like top dogs right now. We're talking about like overall.
I mean, who's?
Well, we're talking about like Offset, Quavo level.
Offset's kind of up there. Yeah, dude, Quavo had no single and his album. Is Quavo more likely to have a hit single or his album perform really well?
I never thought he was good.
Yeah, I'm saying he's had singles. Like Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch is more likely to have a single than an album.
But did he release The Box as a single?
That's a good question. I don't necessarily remember. But no, I'm talking about Roddy Ricch now, not back then.
Right. Yeah, I guess you have to have your hype back to actually drop an album.
And you have to be like, you have Sway Lee. Now, are you going to call Sway Lee a rapper? Sway Lee album is flopping, bro. Sway Lee faked.
Did he drop?
He faked that his hard drive got stolen. Dude, he hasn't dropped in like 4 years. Now, granted, he never has to drop again. That guy's got so many hits.
Right.
But a Sway Lee album is flopping.
Yeah.
Exactly. But a
Didn't they
Sway
sell
Lee
like
single.
15K or some shit?
I have no idea. I don't even think he dropped.
Like Ray Shrummer. I remember.
Oh yeah, Shrem for Life or whatever.
Yeah, I was clowning it because I was like, this just sounds like it's from 2020, 2018, 2017 even.
Yeah. It's rough being Slim Jimmy. But going back to Sway Lee, he's more likely to have a single than an album do well.
Yeah, but he's not a rapper. But I'm not a rapper.
I mean, he is a rapper. Just his biggest hits weren't rapping.
Yeah, no, he raps. I'm just trying to think. Like, I don't know if I ever really care about singles all too much. Or, like, people drop this single just to warm up to the album. It's really the pop artists that are going up off singles.
But just off of streams, the singles, if the artist is semi-pop and the single with a music video, with everything, it at least charts, even if it's like number 96. They were clowning Offset.
That's because of the money they put into the single.
Yeah, but they put money into Offset's single, and it didn't even chart. So people were clowning him. And I was like, listen, wait for the album. The album's going to hit.
Did you even like it?
The single?
Did you like the album?
Nah. But it doesn't matter. I didn't listen to it.
I haven't listened to it either.
I didn't listen. But I'm saying he already has the respect from the previous album, so it's going to carry over into this album.
But I think that's with every rapper.
Yeah, of course.
Like, people care about the albums more than the...
No. But I'm saying the previous album is indicative of the first week performance of the current album. The majority of it.
Right. Sales is all about hype. It's not about quality.
Yeah. Now, your stuff can dip a little bit if people aren't going back to it.
Right.
But that's a whole different story. I do agree, though. That's why pop artists flop.
Because their singles go up.
Yeah, because nobody cares about their albums. And I think it's because they don't promote the album as much.
Right.
There's just a bunch of casual audience. Like, there's such a breadth in pop music that there's not enough depth that people are like, oh, well, this new Ed Sheeran album dropped.
Right. Yeah, exactly. With rap artists, that's why I feel like rap artists sell a ton first week.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably the highest selling genre, is it not?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Other than country music, maybe, right now.
Yeah, other than Morgan. But see, they buy their albums.
They do, but I mean...
Where do they even buy them? How can you buy an album anymore? like I feel like
it's harder to buy an album.
Yeah, they have a ton of pure album sales.
They probably have like box sets or something.
Okay.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of country artists, they send cards to people's houses, like these old people's houses.
Direct mail shit.
They're like, hey, this guy's about to drop an album. Like, do you want to fill out your first name, last name, credit card info to buy it and send us a check? And they literally do that.
I was going to say, fuck, what was I going to say?
Which I feel like is a slept-on marketing method.
Oh, what I was going to say was a lot of country people maybe in the South or like bumfuck nowhere that they still probably have CD players and shit.
Yeah, and
at least they're more inclined to have that than like a city person.
Probably,
so like
at least in their car.
Because I think Drake even had a lyric where he said he's selling records without any actual CDs, something like that. But like I feel like the country people actually might sell CDs still.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I need to see more of the stats on that. We got to go to Nashville.
No.
Why not?
Please. I used to go to country festivals like every summer that's where I'm from. Oh,
I've never experienced any of that.
Bro, everyone's just being a poser.
I've never experienced that. I don't even know what it's like. It's like a different world.
The girls wear they literally kill people. They get the cowgirl boots and wear the flannels with the beater and just...
Yeah, but you got to ask those people about rap music.
I mean, I talk to my friends. They listen to country music.
Like think about it like this. We go to a show like that, right? Or some festival.
TikToks.
And I don't know, we make a video out of it. And we ask them about rap music and we play them shit.
And what? See if they like it?
We play them some Ken Carson.
You're going to start probably...
some people.
They're going to start yelling the hard R.
That's viral. That's viral. Like, think about it. Think about it like this. We get some guy that's literally spitting dip mid-interview, and then he listens to some Ken Carson, and he's like, man, this is some fire. I've been missing out. And then he gets a new fan.
I mean, technically, I've heard this...
That would go viral on IG. Every page will post that.
I've heard this comparison where country is actually really similar, at least in subject matter, to rap.
I said country's the new hip-hop. People are on my ass about that.
I mean, they're like incorporating 808s into it now. Did you notice that?
And all the young chicks are listening to country. Like they're like rap stars is like these country guys. They're like, oh, this guy's amazing. He's the shit right now.
Yeah.
So young girls, young guys are just gonna follow.
Oh, for sure. I feel like in general, just like you go to a party, are there girls there? No girls, dude's not going.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's all about the girls having
unless
fun.
They're one of these influencers that thinks they're gay.
Sneeko. Nah, honestly, no, that was gay. He went to a gay club.
We got to do that video, dude. A Nashville trip.
Hey, man. Shit, if you want to go to Nashville, I'll go to Nashville.
We got to go to, like when it's like a country like fest or something like that.
I used to go to this thing called WMZQ Fest, but then I stopped going because it was just Terrible.
I need to experience that at least once in my
Terrible,
life.
dude. Everyone's tailgating the concert for like literally, it's like a football game, but like even worse, like 6 hours.
What do you think like the average IQ is over there?
Oh, does IQ incorporate like education, or is it just like your?
Or what is the education level there?
Yeah. Okay.
It's better.
Well, from where I'm from, like we're kind of in the middle. Like I was in the suburbs of DC, but like if you're to go into Oklahoma or something, I don't know, man. I've lived in South Carolina, and everybody was like drinking at
That's a trash place.
South Carolina. Well, we lived on a private island. People are probably gonna get on me on that. It's my parents.
This guy's a billionaire.
So, like to get anybody to do anything, it took like a week. And it's like they don't even have a schedule. It's just like,
Dude, I've seen I think when I was in South Carolina, it was probably 5% people that weren't obese.
I think it has one
And that
of the
5% was comprised, probably 4% of it was underage kids that weren't obese.
Right.
So like everyone that was an adult was like obesity to another level. I was like, I can't believe people can be this fat.
Yeah, we'd go to restaurants. I just would not want to go because it's just like slop. Just fucking like, just fried everything. And I'm okay with fried sometimes, but just greasy as hell.
That's American culture,
Like
right there.
not like deep fry where like you take it out of the oil, you know? It's like they put it in a fucking like skillet and they're sizzling that up and then they'll like pour the oil onto the table.
It's like dripping. The oil's dripping on you.
on the plate. It'll just have all the goop all over, like the gravy.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's not cool. And it was just, I think South Carolina has one of the lowest GDPs or like just income per capita.
Probably. I think Mississippi is the lowest.
Okay, that makes sense. It makes sense. But I wouldn't recommend it. My parents are retired and they got bored.
We're gonna do that video in Nashville one day.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we got into Yeat a little bit earlier.
Yeah, that's a good segue.
So he's going #1 global over J. Cole, but J. Cole's beating him in the US. What does that say about Yeat's fan base, or I don't know, just sound? Like, is it more global?
He's got a lot of bots in India. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I think there's probably more people. I think a lot of people in Germany are probably listening to Yeat. I think a lot of people.
It's got like that Young Lean kind of sound.
Well, Young Lean's Swedish, but
same shit.
No. I say this because shout out to the Germans that are watching. There's like a scene in Germany right now that is like hip hop mixed with techno. Now it doesn't sound like Yeat, but that sound.
It has the synths.
It's kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie. I've listened to some of that stuff.
I think you showed me something like that.
But they're like would adopt Yeat. They have to mess with Yeat over there. So also, I think like a lot of European
the way he sounds too. It's like broken English type.
And I think non-English speakers, Germans speak English, most Europeans speak English. Yeah. But I think like in other countries, non-English speakers can listen to Yeat before they can listen to J. Cole.
It's more like sonically pleasing as opposed to listening to the lyrics and dissecting what J. Cole
like you don't need to understand to enjoy.
Right. It just always makes me question why something's out streaming on Spotify, but then somehow gets beat out by another artist by other ways.
Well, I mean, that's demographic.
Right, okay.
So it's like US. So it could be out streaming on Spotify, but the percentage of streams from the US are higher.
Right. Because Apple Music, I feel like, is mostly US.
Yeah, almost majority.
Yeah.
And there's also radio play. Like, I doubt the Yeat song got radio play. If they were pushing a song to radio, it would be with J. Cole.
It would be J. Cole, yeah.
So radio play is like a crazy amount.
But still, like, it's crazy that a Yeat song, like that. Do you know the history behind that? Like, it was a Yeat throwaway.
And I think people actually buy the J. Cole song. Like, I think there are J. Cole fans that are like, oh, new J. Cole song, $1.29.
But so the Yeat song was a Yeat song. I think it was a throwaway in 2022. So like it was his song, just had an open verse, and then Drake hopped on it. And so that says that Yeat's music potentially.
So Yeat carried, is what you're saying.
100% he carried.
Damn.
I like Drake, but like he carried that song for sure.
I mean, shout out to Yeat, man.
Yeah.
Weren't you saying he was going to fall off?
I was like, so I just read the people, and a lot of people were saying he was falling off. I actually defended him. I was like, he's a smart guy. I see all the marketing plays he does, the aesthetics, this whatever. And people always said, like, whenever an artist blows up, they're going to say he's going to fall off. Like, Destroy Lonely just dropped, If Looks Could Kill. People were already saying, oh, this shit's trash.
That shit was fire.
It was kind of boring to me. But
I love that shit.
I feel like when you have the fan base of the underground, such as Yeat, even though I think he's transcended that, when you go mainstream, you lose all your support from like that core underground audience, which sucks because like they're trying to gatekeep shit.
Yeah.
So
where do you think they migrated?
they went to Ken Carson. Now they're like pushing that agenda.
Yo, weren't they trashing Ken Carson's last album? Wasn't it
No.
trash too?
I think that was me.
Oh,
I was saying that.
that was the X one, right?
Yeah, I didn't think it was crazy. Even this project, I didn't think it was like people just overhype super mosh pit type music.
No,
It's
the
like
last one was garbage, bro. That last album was trash. You were
X
right.
or
That I haven't listened to this
A
one.
Great Chaos?
The X one was garbage. I haven't listened to this one yet.
yeah. I mean, I didn't really like it.
That thing was a piece. He had the nerve to drop 17, 18 songs. That's crazy. Wait, wasn't it more than 20 songs?
I don't even remember, bro. I haven't really gone back to it.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, but so like regarding Yeat, do you think he has the potential to get to 100K? Like, do you think he has the potential to even become? He's already a top 50 streamed artist in the world.
On Spotify?
Just there was a chart or a list of the top 50 streamed artists.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like
It's not
all
monthly listeners. It's streams. Yeah.
on all platforms, and he was in the top 50. I think he might have even been above Carti, but that's
Makes
because
sense.
Carti only has 3 albums.
Yeah.
He has he's dropped more
Like 11.
albums in the last 3 years than Carti has his entire career.
Yeah.
But so what I'm trying to figure out is he going to reach like a Gunna level? You know what I mean? Like he already has the number.
I think
2
if he
song.
explores like different sounds, yeah.
Yeah,
Because at one point Gunna was stagnant in his sound.
yeah,
And then he just got fire. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. That "Fuck You Mean" song is blowing up.
Man, that whole album was fire. He dropped something. He not orchestrated. He demonstrated his whole like talent on that album. Like every type of track, flow, style you can get from him, he delivered it on there. And now he's exploring, other sounds.
Like the Afro beat.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's if he can do that, he owns his lane already.
Yeah,
So if he's able to do that and become more wider appealing, then I think it's possible. But it's 100K is so hard.
nowadays, yeah.
I don't think people understand how hard it is right now.
I mean,
I
again,
think 50K is like the new 100.
I mean, I still don't even understand how anyone sells 100K except for like Drake or Travis. Because like, if you do the numbers, 100,000
Dude,
times
400K for Drake is crazy to me.
that's 125 million streams in 1 week from the U.S. only.
That's unbelievably high.
What I'm saying is, who's actually doing these numbers?
Yeah, so how the hell?
That's why
I don't think
people
they're
are
real.
buying.
I don't think those numbers are real.
They're not real. No way, unless you're doing merch bundles. And
I
even
don't think
merch bundles
you have to sit there and think 125 million streams.
in 1 week.
So let's assume people will listen to it 4 times, right? Over a week. That's 30 million unique listeners.
Right.
31 million unique listeners.
Well, let's say they
Listening to it 4 times. That's insane.
Right. Well, if you think about it, say every person in the U.S. and I've talked about this before, so people are probably pissed off anyway. But like, what is the U.S. population? 300 million.
It's probably like 350 or something.
What about people who even have a phone?
Yeah.
Like not illegal immigrants and shit. Like,
Well, they got phones.
or I mean, okay, do they all listen to music?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's say they, like people who listen to hip hop now, which is an even smaller demographic. That means that,
That's probably 100 million, honestly.
right, so everybody listened to Travis Scott's album or anybody's album once throughout that week? You think most like working individuals even know what's going on?
I don't think they know until like a week and a half after.
Right. Like maybe it's boosted up a little bit because of Rap Caviar and like playlists and shit, but there's no way. There's no way these numbers are real.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Nobody's selling 100K except for like Drake.
Yeah, so how the hell is Bad Bunny doing 225K?
Didn't he just drop?
Yeah, he's supposed to do 225K.
To be honest, like I'm a Bad Bunny fan. I haven't even checked it out yet because I just haven't really seen much. But that might just be because I'm not advertised it a lot.
Yo, that's crazy numbers though.
He's doing 225 in the US.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny's fire, bro.
Dude, those are disgusting numbers.
So I feel like, so a lot of rappers, their music videos kind of suck.
Yeah.
Or at least let's say they're low budget. I will literally watch.
They're lacking creativity. Not only are they low budget,
Yes.
they're lacking creativity, yes.
I will literally watch Bad Bunny music videos on repeat every day, just on my TV playing.
Yeah.
Because apparently he spent like $1 million on a music video. It's almost similar to female rappers, like how much money they put into the WAP
Yeah.
for Cardi B, whatever. How much do you think it cost to get Kylie Jenner in their music video?
A lot, probably.
Right.
I mean, wasn't she friends with them at the time?
Maybe she did it for free.
Possibly, yeah.
But so what I'm saying is, are these rappers even getting like Bad Bunny is spending $1 million on a music video? How much do you think these rappers are getting?
Are they even getting a mil budget
yeah.
for the album?
Right.
Yeah.
There's no way, except for Drake again.
Travis Scott. Yeah, and Travis's videos reflect that.
Right, his are crazy, but that's why they do well. But I feel like there's too many running gun music videos.
Yeah.
And it's so saturated. And I understand like that's just the grind at the beginning. But I just feel like that's why rap maybe might be going down a bit, just because there's like a lot less creativity, recycling, budget going into things. You know what I mean?
There's too many guys.
There's too many rappers.
There's way too many rappers, man.
And too many people dropping every single Friday.
Like, I think what's happening with Bad Bunny, there's going to be, in like maybe like several years, there's going to be too many people making the type of music that he's making.
I've already heard that they're starting to push more, like they're going to Dominican Republic, where he's from.
Puerto Rico and stuff. He's from Puerto Rico.
He's from Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I heard was they're going to Puerto Rico, or Dominican Republic, and just like scoping out people. Like, who can we industry plant real quick?
Yeah, they're going to both probably.
Yeah. Where they're still kind of American, but then they have the Latin
like there's enough people from there in America for it to make sense.
Yes. Because I think Spanish is like the high. I mean, in Miami, everyone speaks Spanish.
We were talking about 100 million, right? Maybe that are interested in hip hop enough to listen to a new hip hop album, which I feel like we're grossly overestimating.
Yeah.
Now, what about that are interested in Spanish music in the US?
Well, so again, anecdotally, I don't know Spanish. I just like what Bad Bunny sounds like.
Yeah, me too.
I don't even know what he's saying. I put on the subtitles and I'm like even more, I'm like watching it like a movie.
More confused.
Well, I'm watching it like a movie. I'm like, damn, he said that? Like, and also if you've watched him, and I'll let you, sorry, I keep going off on the tangent about the music videos.
No, it's actually a good topic. Like we segued into a topic unintentionally.
Yeah. So he did like a music video, kind of the thing that Cole Bennett does, where he goes behind the scenes of the music video, why they did certain shots and shit. Mm-hmm. You can just hear, like, again, the creativity of why he's so purposeful with it. I feel like rappers are not doing that shit. But anyway, so how many people are listening to Spanish music, or would the market be? I don't know. I've been in Miami so long, I don't even know what the North is like anymore.
Exactly. So do you think if you had never lived in Miami, you'd be listening to this guy?
No. So you're trying to say that's botted too?
No. I'm not necessarily saying that, but I'm just saying that the number is low. But what I think, and I've said this before, I think when a new Bad Bunny album drops, people are playing that as the only I think they're playing it 30 times in a week, maybe more.
When I discovered
I think they're just looping it.
Yeah, when I discovered Bad Bunny, and like I did not discover him very early on in his career at all. Like he already had billions of streams. And I knew who he was, but like I never really checked out the music. But yeah, I listened to that shit straight for like 3 weeks, nothing else. It's just like infectious. I don't know.
No, it's fire.
It is fire. But is anyone doing that in rap now? Or is it because there's just too many people, like you said?
I think people are doing that for Yeat. I think that's the only person I think that people are just like looping the album. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, is music even a good long-term, or at least rap, a good long-term career? Is it worth it?
I think anybody that likes making music and rap music should believe that it is.
Right.
Now, if you're asking me, dude, I mean, just statistically speaking,
if you calculate the risk,
yeah,
with the money that you put into it,
I mean, I don't know.
I don't think it's a good career.
No. But I mean, some people, like if you take a look at it, some people learn instruments, right? And are really, really, really good at an instrument. And they make no money. And these people are like savants. Not make no money, but they're never making millions of dollars.
Right.
And they understand that. And they're just like, hey, I just like enjoy this thing so much. The fact that I can even make a living off of it is like way more than good enough for me. And I think a lot of people that make music genuinely are like that. They're just like, dude, if I can just pay my bills and just have the time to make music, I don't even need to be making profit. If I can do that for the rest of my life, fuck it. Like I'm living an amazing life.
Yeah, it's a creative outlet for sure. Well, so, but is that a career though? Like, is it a long-term career? Is it a viable one? That's what I asked.
I think it's worth the opportunities it opens up. You get to meet a lot of people. Like, let's say you're lit for a year and a half.
Well, how many people reach that point? With how many people try to be a rapper nowadays? Like,
I think less people are trying to be a rapper now than they were in like 2015, 16, 17. You remember SoundCloud links were everywhere. Now it's these freaking OF chicks in the replies of I can't even read replies to an academics tweet or a rap tweet because I scroll down. I can't read replies in public. I scroll down. There's a bitch sucking dick right there.
I still think it's pretty bad because of Yeat and that wave. Not because of Yeat, but like he came up from the underground. Whenever you have an artist who like makes it from the underground, Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, Solfego, like that almost opens up this, and rightfully so, and people should, if they are good at music or want to do it, of course, take the opportunity. But it makes people be delusional with what they can actually do. You know what I mean? Too many people who are trash are just dropping music.
I think you're just too locked in to a certain subset, because if you remember back then, it was like, your homie down the street thinks he's a rapper.
Yeah.
Your homie that used to sell weed was trying to be a rapper. Yeah. Like these people aren't trying to be rappers anymore. They're like the same people that were like telling you about crypto or NFTs. So like that
Forex trading.
Yeah, that wave shifted. So now like there's like way less people trying to be rappers.
So is that a good thing? That people are actually contributing to society now?
I think they just got a new scam.
Yeah.
Or some new opportunity that they think is going to help them.
That's something that interests me. Like,
but I think like art is one of the greatest contributions that can be made to a society, because that's where the identity and culture comes in. Like, I got a friend that's traveling right now, and he's like, let's say Mongolia. I'm not going to give the real country, but it's kind of like Mongolia. And he's like, man, these people, like, they've got this music. They're all listening to their traditional music. They're not listening to no DaBaby. Well, DaBaby's not lit, but like if they're listening to rap, it's like a major hit in America. They're all listening to their own music. He's like, man, they've got like this clothing and this traditional stuff that they've been wearing for thousands of years, all this other stuff that comprises their culture. Whereas he's like, yo, in the US, like the culture is like corporations and Coca-Cola and whatever. Right. But the culture of the US is like the art that was born out of it, like hip hop music, jazz music, you know, some will say country, rock. Like these, rock music. All of these aspects are art in general, fashion too, that spurred out of music as well. That is what kind of crafted the identity, film, movies, of America to like the outside world. So I think it's such a great contribution, because that's what's going to appeal to outsiders, foreigners, and it's what the people of the country can be most proud about. Now there's like scientific and other advancements, I feel like medical
that's kind
advancements.
of a form of art too, though.
Yeah, but it's not going to resonate with someone. Like, for example, there's probably been something really important invented in some other country, but you might not know about it. And you'd probably know about some artist in that country before you know about that specific invention or advancement.
Art links people.
Yes. And I think it's so widely appealing.
I think it's because it can be interpreted, and it's not like a single interpretation.
And it's like consumed by everybody at some degree or level.
Yeah.
Like everybody's consumed a TV show, a movie, music. I
mean, what is life without art?
Yeah. Whereas, for example, like, let's say someone had like a crazy medical invention that saved so many lives. They've probably impacted more people. But if they're not in that field of medicine or medical field, they probably wouldn't have even heard about it.
Right.
And why would they hear about it when it wouldn't make sense to market it to outside of that? Like, it's not monetarily beneficial to market it outside of this specific field that, like, let's say medicine, for instance. Like, oh, let's say they built this machine that, I don't know, cures or like allows people to see that couldn't see before.
Right.
It might go viral a little bit, but they're like, hey, let's market this to all of these hospitals so we can sell this product to all of these hospitals. And it's just going to stay in there. And then the people that it affects is going to change their lives. And they might tell their friends, but the average person isn't even thinking about that type of stuff. And it's not going to be marketed or even shown to them because it doesn't apply to them.
Because it has a specific use case. Whereas art can, like, you can practically listen to music or do see art in anything.
Yeah. And it's a reflection. Like the artist, he's taking a reflection of what's around him and is connecting, and there's like a strong relatability or aspiration. It's either relatability or aspirational, usually an element of relatability. So to relate to a mass of people, you know, you've got to be like them or experiencing life like them.
Facts. We got deep on this. Did you think we were going to talk about that?
No. That's why it's fun when you only have a couple of topics, because it's always like
it goes into other shit.
It's a web, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like our country video is going to be. We're going to cast a web.
Hey, I'd be down. My parents are like full Southern, so.
I mean, like how full Southern are we talking about?
Those are my people.
Like Confederates or?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
I think we might have to check your family tree.
Hey, they were corporate. They're blue pill. No,
were they corporate in the 1850s?
They're red pill. They're red pill for sure. Okay.
Nah, red pillers dating porn stars now.
That's what I said. I'm like, you're completely destroying everything that you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think they believe what they're saying. Did you run out of topics, man? What's going on?
Nah, I thought you wanted to go in on that.
No.
All right. So Drake's album got hella hate from like Joe Budden.
Shout out Joe Budden. I don't like his podcast, but I like him.
He stands on business.
It's not. It comes off the wrong way every time I say it, but his performance and his appeal is not for me. but I respect it and I like it.
I think more people should be like that.
Yeah,
Like, hear
I agree.
opinions and not taking a personal attack, you know?
I think this looked bad for Drake, I'm not going to lie. He got rattled by Joe Budden.
Yeah.
If you guys remember, before Everyday Struggle, Joe Budden was most known for the meme where he's running after people in the wife beater that you got on right now. You seen that video?
Mm-hmm. Was it because like some Drake fucked his girl or something?
Because he was dissing Drake. He dropped a
Right.
bunch of fire diss tracks.
Right.
It's like he was scorching Drake. Drake wasn't replying, obviously. And then I think these Drake fans that were kids pulled up to his house and they were like trying to prank him or something. And then he just chased them down the block. And he
Right.
pulled up to their house. But yeah, Joe Budden is showing love to Drake and criticizing him. Like he's like, yo, I love Drake. I'm a Drake fan.
Right.
And
He
this is
says
my
all the time.
opinion. And Drake got butthurt about it.
I feel like that brings Drake, because Drake is supposed to be bigger than life. He's supposed to be the biggest thing on this planet, right?
Yeah.
Or one of them.
Yeah.
When you respond to a YouTuber, or not a YouTuber, but a podcaster, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A personality who's supposed to be like, they're talking about you. That means they're lower than you. When you respond to them, you're coming down to that level. So it's always better to just not respond. Like, I said this about Yeat, who was responding to Aiden Ross, who didn't like his album. Like, dude, you're fucking Yeat. Like, who gives a fuck if Aiden Ross doesn't like your shit?
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to be this personality that, or not even a personality, but this brand that does not give a fuck because you're a rapper.
Supposed to be like the Wizard of Oz. Like you're just.
Yeah, you're supposed to be like rare. You're supposed to be something that nobody can even touch. Nobody can get to. That kind of thing.
But I think Drake, see, this is the problem that I think Drake had, is I think he's just like one of the guys. And he's like, man, you know, this guy's poking fun at me, clowning me, let me clown him back. It's like a fun thing. And then he gets misinterpreted. But the thing is, he hasn't been doing this. But he usually doesn't do this on like an Instagram comment section and I think he actually got butthurt about this.
Oh, for sure.
Instead of just like joking back and forth, which like you're not going to, I don't think Joe Budden is bothered at all. I think he finds it funny, even though like he tried to diss
Drake
Drake.
commented. He that's more content.
Yeah.
Now Joe Budden is Drake level.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah, it's like when rappers say shit to me, I'm like, let's go.
I think Drake is a little bit yeah, because I haven't listened to the album yet. I need to listen to it, so I can't judge the album. But just the interaction. Drake is, I mean, he hit up Kai Cenat, who was showing him love. So I was going to say he's showing love, he's paying attention to the hate, or showing attention to the hate, and not the people that show love. But he shouted out, or he called into Kai Cenat, so he gave him a look. But I think Joe Budden is right, dude. You're trying to make kid music.
You haven't even listened to the album.
I mean, if he's saying facts.
I feel like he's so big. I have 2 points. He's so big that he has to make newer generation rap or music so he can continue being the biggest artist in the world.
I'll give a Drake defense right now. People are trying to be like, yo, Jay-Z made like grown man music, so you gotta do that because we put you up with Jay-Z. And Drake also said like, oh, I'm like Jay this. So he attached himself to that. So people expect the maturity or so in his music, but maybe Drake hasn't matured. So how are you going to expect him to make music about maturing when he hasn't gone through that yet?
Right.
And Jay has gone through that, and you can't judge, or
Jay's
you
also
can't
like
put the same
60,
timeline,
bro.
Oh, he's not.
How old is he?
I don't even think
He's in his 50s. Easy.
I think he's probably like maybe. But when did he drop that type of music?
444.
Yeah. I think it was in his.
That was like 20.
But his music
19?
progressed. Even in his when Jay was 36, what was he dropping? I think it was like American Gangster.
I don't remember.
I think it was
so long
American
ago.
Gangster. Or Magna Carta.
But like, if you're a Drake level, you kind of have to like, because we talk about rappers falling off because they're, say, I love Lil Wayne, he's my ultimate GOAT. However, his last album, like a lot of people, like people don't even pay attention really. I think it only sold like 25K.
Are you deadass?
I'm pretty sure it was something like that.
Please don't say that.
I can look up like the exact stats, but
I might leave if he
it was
sold that level.
something like that. Okay,
Nah, no way, bro.
Lil Wayne
That had to be like a re-release.
first week. Did you even know he dropped an album?
No. I know he dropped an album, but there's no way it's sold.
19K.
Stop.
The Fix before the 5. So it was like a precursor to the Fix before the 6. Before the Carter 6.
That's a throwaway. That's a mixtape.
Okay. Regardless.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like
that's scary though.
A lot of the even GOATs, greatest of all time rappers, one of the biggest criticisms is that they are, even Ray Strummer's last album, outdated, right? So Drake, being the biggest artist, not wanting to fall off or just like keeping up with the times, is making newer music, right? That's why I did the Yeat song. He did a rage beat with Lil Yachty.
Yeah, but does
he did a plug beat on like an old Cardi.
Does this seem authentic to Drake? It doesn't seem authentic to Drake to me. He's painting his nails, bro.
He had some songs like that.
He's painting his nails.
Yeah, I mean, I get. I'm not even defending Drake.
No, I can't even talk about the music. I need to listen to the music before we can dive deeper into this.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I was going to say, it wasn't Drake related. I think it was, we talked about Lil Wayne.
Jay-Z.
No, it's not Jay-Z. Oh, yeah. Also, Jay-Z sales have been fake for forever.
Yeah. He like did some shit with his own streaming platform.
Dude, he did like some stuff with Sprint where Sprint guaranteed bought 1 million albums. We don't even know Drake's actual sales,
bruh,
since 444.
He's before.
And if you remember that album that he did with Beyonce, that flopped. The Carters.
Yeah. That
was a huge flop. Nobody even remembers that album. Now you're telling me if Drake did an album with Rihanna, that would flop like Beyonce and Jay-Z?
Nah.
Hell no, that would be a smash. So
right.
I guess I'm like unintentionally defending Drake. But yeah, people can't do this whole Jay-Z thing because Jay-Z dick suckers are like, it's like 50-year-olds.
That's like a lyrical dick sucker.
No, it's just...
He's not necessarily he is lyrical kind of, but like...
Wait, who, Drake?
Nah, Jay-Z.
No, Jay-Z's like one of the most lyrical rappers ever. But no, they're just...
But I mean, it's in a more swaggy way than like... Spherical, miracle.
Yeah, but the guys that like dick ride Jay-Z, they're just totally different.
I've never even seen that in my life.
I mean, they've got wife beaters on. They just got the Timbs. They just got the Timbs too.
So what I was also gonna say about Drake.
Yo, we should go to the 50 Cent tour and ask all the old heads about the new music.
About Yeat?
That'd be fire.
You're turning into a TikToker on me, bro.
That would be a fire video though.
Yeah, it would. Like stand outside. I mean,
nobody's doing that stuff.
People do that. I'm saying we could do that outside of American Airlines.
Is he performing there, 50 Cent?
No, I'm just saying like that's one of the biggest venues. Like,
screw the venue. It has to be the audience.
No, I'm saying like stand outside. People got to go in for tickets.
Oh yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm not like
you wouldn't buy a ticket to Get Rich or Die Trying 20th anniversary.
I don't buy tickets to even the artists that I fucking like.
No, this is Get Rich or Die Trying 20th anniversary. This is like arguably the greatest hip hop moment ever.
Yeah, I know. I was downloading that on LimeWire.
Exactly.
Back in the day.
So you wouldn't show 50 Cent some love and just buy that ticket?
How much?
I don't know, probably less than $100. We get some nosebleeds.
Nah.
Damn.
You know how I am with money?
Damn.
No way.
So what was the last concert you bought a ticket to?
I would buy a rave before I'd
That's the gayest shit I've ever heard.
Bro, the audience is so much more fun at raves. I don't even know the DJs.
You're not allowed to do drugs. What ticket are you buying?
Nah, last time that happened, I like bought a 3-day ticket and I was like, this is trash. And I left.
All right, so we finished the first day. We got that disqualified then.
Okay, yeah. Then
so if you got to do drugs to enjoy the music, it's trash.
I think that might be the incentive to go to Maybe that's why I have better memories.
It's gotta be garbage, bro.
Okay, so I went to this is 2016 maybe 2017. It was Rolling Loud. That was a good experience. And Carti was performing at one of the smaller stages.
Rolling Loud was actually kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Now or back in the day?
I don't know when I went.
Before it went mainstream.
I went to one. But I only went there for like one day, and then I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Kodak's performance was trash. Love you, Kodak, but
A lot of rappers suck at
yeah,
performing.
this was absolute garbage. His DJ was just yelling the whole time.
Yeah.
He was trying to carry his terrible performance.
What was I going to say about Drake? Oh, when I went to the Carti concert, though, the mosh pit was so crazy that like I had to put my girl on my shoulders because
So you paid to go to a Carti concert?
Rolling Loud.
That's the last one? Oh, okay.
Rolling Loud. But he was performing there. But that was when that was right after Magnolia.
Are you going to go to Opium Tour?
A lot of people don't even come to Florida. That's probably another reason I don't go to a lot of things.
There's no way he doesn't come to Florida.
If
he comes to Florida, are you going to go? Dude, he lives in Miami. He's definitely going to do a show here. Carti. Am I leaking something?
He lives in Miami?
Yeah.
Where? You don't have to say
like in Miami.
like in where I live?
Not here, but like within like 35 minutes.
I mean, that kind of makes sense. I feel like everybody who's rich and like famous has a place out here.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time here.
What? I guess I heard that because when Kanye was recording Donda or something, that was in Miami. Or sorry, no, Donda Listening Party 2.
No, it was after that.
Or
maybe he's been here since then, but
actually maybe scrap that. I don't know. Maybe I heard something. Maybe that was just Atlanta. I don't know. I feel like he's more in Atlanta.
Dude, he's here a lot.
How do you know this?
I mean, I know somebody that
he
continuously like sees or
That's
runs
how
into him.
Fucking mysterious he is.
Because think about it. If he was in ATL, he would get recognized all the time.
Right.
Now,
here, no one really cares about rappers.
Not only that, the guy's in like slides and a regular hoodie. Like, you're just like, oh, this is just another guy.
Yeah.
And he just goes out to buy some stuff and comes back to his crib in the studio. So he's not really in.
That's honestly smart. Because even if you're in LA,
yeah,
people are going to recognize you.
Yeah, of course.
Because
everyone looks homeless in LA. Everyone has that look in LA. Like every famous person's got like a hoodie on and like looks like a regular person.
Yeah. He's a sly dog. At least it's not like Wyoming. I couldn't imagine being like Post Malone or Kanye.
Well, Post Malone's in like Utah. But you got to think, Post Malone probably overdosed on fame. Like you got to think, imagine you're Post Malone and you're in LA. Every single day you're getting invited to 3 different things by famous people.
Right. Because you're so big.
I think he just burnt out. He was like, man, am I going to keep saying no to these people? I think he's a nice guy. So he's like, I think the easiest way to say no to all this stuff is to just be like, yo, I'm in Utah, bro.
Yeah.
And then people would probably just stop inviting him to shit unless it's like super, super big and important.
Yeah, it would suck to be famous.
Yeah.
Like imagine not even talking about rapper level, but like Kai, like how much people suck your dick on the street and you're like, yo, chill.
And it's all little kids too.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst kind of thing.
Take away what I said if it's little kids.
Oh yeah. That thought didn't even cross my mind. That's why
I didn't want anyone to like catch that.
Yeah. You're saving your ass. But then
yours,
like,
you said it.
No, I said it's little kids coming up to you.
Right after I said what I said.
Well, yeah, I started a new thread.
Right, okay.
You put a period at the end of your sentence. I put a capital letter.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's little kids, which is even worse.
Or like that Sneeko clip. where the kids were like, yeah, we hate women. He's like, wait, what?
Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's bad.
I was worse as a kid.
You were worse?
Dude, you weren't saying worse shit than that?
I mean, in Call of Duty lobbies for sure, but like I was probably blue pill as a kid to think about it.
No, I mean, you just say like super offensive stuff in general. Like we were saying way worse stuff.
I don't know. I grew up in like a very, I wouldn't say conservative like politically, but like conservative. I was like, I'm from a suburb. You're from the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from like a suburb. People aren't, it's not as crazy.
Really?
Like it would get around. Like everybody's family.
Yeah, but you're just kids. Like, no, you're saying it to your homies. Like, you're not spouting it out to the teacher.
Oh, man. I was
like you know what not to say to the teacher.
Oh, man. Well, like, I would say, like, weird shit. Like, like weed was beans. I'm gonna go bean. I'm gonna go smoke weed, like that kind of shit.
So you named your dog after weed?
No, when she named him that, that's what I thought of though.
Oh,
Or like weird ass words like crunk. Like that was weed at one point.
dude, it sounds like you're like you were living in like an Ed Nettie episode.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I was.
Did you go out into like the woods to smoke and stuff?
Yeah.
You were living a Teen Wolf episode, dude.
Not like literally. Like, I went to Peru studied there for like just a couple weeks and got a pipe, and we call it the Peruvian puff pepper. We smoked out of that, but we'd like hide it in the woods and go meet up there and go smoke weed there.
And nobody would steal it.
Nah, bro, I live in like a pretty well-off area.
Well, I mean, like, who's going to be looking for a pipe in the middle of the woods, right?
Right.
I would think an animal would move it or something.
Nah.
Well, how do you know it stayed clean? Do you wash it every time?
Shit, I don't know. At one point, like I left it out there, and then my friends would smoke it more than me because I stopped smoking weed because I just didn't like it. And then somebody just has it now. I didn't really care. They just take it.
Damn. How the hell did we even get here? Yo, my short-term memory is ass.
How did we get here? Cardi
Okay,
living
so
in
it's not
Miami,
just
yelling obscenities about Sneeko.
The kids.
Yeah, the kids. I was just saying, like,
Oh, yeah, being famous and kids recognizing you from being famous.
right.
Yeah, that's why, yeah.
Is that a good fan base to have?
Nah, bro. Unless you're like a movie star, unless you're like Jake Paul and you're selling the merch. But
I'm trying to think, like, what's the average market value for like a kid, like 8 to 12 versus like 18 to 25?
dude, I can't even. Dude, my audience isn't even 18 to like all of my people are like above 24. I've got like 24 to 40
No
something.
way.
Yeah.
Mine's like mostly 18 to 25, maybe 16 to 25. I feel like it's a
How
good
do you
medium.
even get an audience of like 8 to 14? I think you got to be on TikTok. Like,
Yeah.
those Zoomers are not sitting there and watching a YouTube video. They're like, whoa, 8 minutes? No, that's crazy. They're probably like 45-second TikTok. Come on, man, make it 9 seconds.
That's why I think a lot of streamers don't even post clips. They just post the TikToks.
Probably.
Yeah. Like, do you think that's going to be a focus for creators later? Like, not even YouTube?
I think it's going to flip all the way.
You think it's going to go long term again?
Yeah. I mean, it's still like long, if you want kids, but I mean, dude, who cares about a kid audience, man?
Well, so I think we talked about this a long time ago.
We can't have a kid audience.
Yeah, no.
Like, there's no 5 to 12-year-old that's like super, super into music.
Right.
Or like
They're not even
what's
conscious
surrounding music. Yeah, they're just like,
Yeah.
there's like, do the funny thing.
Fart. Or like, say gay joke to rapper.
Yeah.
Literally. But so I'm trying to figure out like the benefit of having the kid audience.
Toys, like, if you're an adult, bro, there's no benefit. Now, if you're 16 and you've got 8 to 12-year-olds, then I think that's
And then
a
you
different
grow up
story.
with them.
Yeah. And then I think you can just like, I don't know, sell them toys, bro. I don't know. What do kids even buy?
I feel like there's a bigger audience for that. It's almost like financial YouTubers. How
Oh, no. Like, I've got a couple of friends that have kids' YouTube channels. Bro,
the CPMs are lower though, right?
yeah, but
But like the views are
they're
way
getting
crazy.
tens of millions of
Yeah.
views.
I
These
have
kids are bots, dude. They're just like sitting there watching all day.
Yeah, they watch that show. I have nephews. I have a friend, acquaintance, from my like old pool. Now he's like he was 2 years older than me. He started like a kids channel. He's like a green Lambo now.
Damn.
Killing it. Like he's got millions of subscribers now just doing what is it, like treasure hunt videos?
Dude.
Like, I don't even know how you do that.
I don't even
insane.
know how to get into the mind of making kids content. I don't even know how to do it. I couldn't fathom
Right.
it. I'm like, how does a kid even think? I'm kind of impressed by people that do this. Like you seen
It's
that
almost
channel?
being genius doing that.
You seen that channel Coco Melon?
Yeah. They're non Netflix now.
Are you dead?
Yes.
Yo.
Like they're making a bag.
You know, there's basically these farms in Vietnam where they do this stuff. So they'll have like like someone will hire a factory, and they'll have all of these people editing and creating these kids' videos in there, like hundreds of them, and running these channels.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a ridiculous.
I feel like it's hard to even.
It's like a cartel.
It's hard to even run a YouTube channel in the U.S. because everybody's making so much money, like to pay people to be a profitable channel.
Dude, yeah.
You got to hire editors outside of the US.
It's way too expensive. Or you got to be one of the biggest people.
Yeah.
And making so much
like Kai or Mr. Beast, they can give out millions of dollars to people, but not me.
I mean, dude, Mr. Beast was paying some guy $10K a month like 5 years ago and gave him a place to stay for free. I think he gave him a house, and that kid started complaining.
I feel like...
So even if you pay them a lot, they're going to complain.
It's because the salaries in U.S. are just crazy.
Well, I mean, that was a crazy salary. 2018, getting paid $10K a month with free rent.
Shit, yeah.
And you're working for Mr. Beast. You've got a fun job. And that kid still complained. So it's just a culture of complaining.
He's just being a bitch.
Yeah, he was.
But see, like maybe 10K, because again, a lot of parents nowadays, my parents had more than 100K salary, right? Did yours?
Hell no.
Oh, shit. Well, I feel like
not even half of that.
It's more normal, okay, to have over 100K salary nowadays. Like,
no, it's not.
My first job,
dude, no, it's not.
Was already 100, and I understand I'm an outlier. I'm just saying, like 100K is not what it was
now in 2023 compared to 2018. Dude, just that 5-year gap is huge.
Yeah,
in purchasing power.
Yeah, because
like you ever go to eat somewhere and you're like, yo, I just spent $45. This would have been like $17 a couple years ago.
Maybe it's just my circle. Like all my friends are corporations like making. But I understand that there's like a smaller demographic.
Also, this is a major city that's expensive. So yeah. But I mean, dude, if you're making $10K a month in any city in Texas, damn near, you're doing really well. In Nevada, you're doing really well. Like, you don't have to worry about money at all. You have disposable income.
What I mean is, when a kid goes to college, they are trying to get that 100K salary because it's pretty attainable now.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know, man.
What is paying you 10K out of college?
Well, okay. Not out of college, but I mean... throughout your career,
I don't think so.
You'll reach 100K. A lot of people,
like, maybe through your career. But when is that? Like 15 years later, 10 years later,
right? And that's why I said I'm an outlier, because I honestly had parents that helped me get to a certain level where my first job was already doing that. But
hey, cut that out, editor.
No, we're keeping that. I don't care.
I mean, we gotta have his. We gotta fake his rags to riches come up story.
No, I tell people all the time I'm chilling. But because people are used to the 100K salary, at least it's like attainable. They're like, oh, Mr. Beast is making however much millions of dollars. Like, I don't know what he was making 5 years ago. Was he making millions?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, so they're like...
probably $1 million, yeah.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, I want, 10K is nothing, blah, blah, blah. Even though it's a lot.
Yeah, well, that kid's not getting paid 10K now. That kid's ain't getting paid a damn thing now.
Right. No, people are stupid. I would never turn down 10K a month. You could live off that for the rest of your life. Yeah. If you got 10K every single month, you're chilling.
And his rent is paid.
Yeah, comfortably. You're comfortable.
This guy's a bum.
You could probably, you could even get a Lambo. You could finance a Lambo with 10K a month, and you have no rent. Yeah. Would it be the smartest thing? No, but you could do it. It's only like, even with interest payments now.
I thought it was like $7,500.
What?
I thought it was like $7,500 a month.
I mean, it depends on how long your loan is, but you can get like a 72-month loan, which is like 6 years.
That's a fat down payment. What about to lease it? To lease it is $7,500, I think.
Down? $7,500 down? Or monthly?
Monthly.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because I was looking at like 2018s, because I would never buy a new car because it depreciates so much. But like if you get a 2018, like 125K Lambo, it's probably 2,000,
Well,
2,500.
why not lease it? Because I'm thinking like, dude, let's say you get a Lamborghini. Dude, in 18 months, you're tired of that thing.
Well, you can sell it. Exotic Car Hacks.
Well,
Sponsor me.
that's another story entirely. Yeah. Whoever's doing that, shout out to them. But you got to like learn the market and stuff.
Yeah, but there are certain cars that hold their value.
Oh, that's fire. Like driving a car for free for 6 months.
Yeah. Like 911s, Lamborghini
I love
Gallardo.
911s. So.
What?
Gallardos are ugly.
I mean, they're the most affordable.
They're
Lambo.
boxy and
Yeah. Audi R8. It's another one.
911 is literally the best car that you just named.
I had one.
Yeah. And you fucked it up.
I didn't fuck it up. I hated it.
Dude, you trashed it.
No, I didn't.
Dude, you told me like you literally went up a ramp and...
Oh, no, I said I went airborne. It didn't hurt the car, though.
Sure about that?
You sure about that? That was like in 20...
I mean, you went airborne and the car hit the ground. You went like 20 feet in there.
No, I didn't. I went airborne over a hill, but we landed. The only thing that happened was...
You literally did that famous Tesla video.
I wish. No, it was a convertible. So there were like, there's these things that when you go airborne shoot up so that it protects you if you flip. And those things like went through the back window. So I had to replace that. But no, it was just, we restored it and it was a 2002. So like by the time I had it in like 2020, I think I had it till, just the battery was dead. And I was like, I'd never drive this. So I'm just going to sell it.
You wish you had it right now?
No.
That's true. You got the new and advanced, huh?
Oh yeah, way better. And it like didn't even have Bluetooth. It was just annoying.
Hey, you would have been buying CDs.
Morgan Wallen. I guess I listened to a lot of country in that car because I had it in. I didn't have it in. My mom and dad wouldn't let me drive it to school, but I had like a pickup truck.
Dude. Dude, you sound like your life was a TV show that I used to watch on Disney Channel or something.
My life was lit.
Dude, a pickup truck and a Porsche.
Well, so
and you've got the woods. Did you go to private school?
No. But like my public school was allegedly like number 6 in the nation for like grades. And like
what?
I was like in a really good public school.
I mean, my public school was definitely up there. It was definitely top 10. We were one of the biggest schools in the whole country.
See, mine...
We had like almost 6,000 kids.
Yeah, see, I only had like 2,000.
Like you had to take a test to get in and shit.
So we had one like that. It was Thomas Jefferson, TJ. I don't know if you know what that is.
That was the hood school where we went, where we were at. I think that's where Lance Stevenson came out of. Or is that Abraham Lincoln? I think he came out of Lincoln High School in Coney Island. He was really good in high school.
I bet, dude. They're basically just man children.
I mean, he went to the NBA, so he's the guy. You know, you remember him, right?
Yeah.
The guy that blew in bronze here.
Wasn't he on the Warriors?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, back to rap though. So, you said earlier, you think Lil Skies wanted to fall off. Firstly, context. Do you think he fell off?
Yeah.
Do you think he's making money now?
I think he's making money.
How much money do you think he's making a month?
At least 15.
Just off royalties?
Bare minimum.
Yeah, I think he...
How many monthly listeners does he have? Guess. Guess before you look it up. I'm guessing 8.
8? I was going to say like 30, but I think you're right. I actually think I've seen it at 8. That sounds about right. Because he had such mega hits, people still play to this day.
Yeah.
So that would make sense. But he also doesn't have any like relevant songs right now. He has
16?
5.6, bro.
Damn.
Wait, let's check Ken Carson's. So Yeat just hit 20 mil because of the Drake song. But Ken Carson has more than Lil Skies, 6.1.
I mean, that's impressive by Lil Skies.
Did he still at 5.6?
Yeah. That's not bad. 5.6 is a lot.
It is a lot. And he's independent now.
I think he's got at least 15. I think he's getting 15 in royalties. However much they pay out like quarterly or something or twice a year, but
like on average.
Yeah.
And so you think that he wanted to fall off?
Yeah. Because I mean, he had a kid, and I think he was.
Or do you think that he was just not smart enough to keep it going?
I think he wanted to fall off. Well, I don't think he
Why is he starting again then? I feel like if you want to fall off.
What is he doing right now?
He's been dropping songs.
What was the last song he dropped?
Exactly. I'll tell you right now. He dropped Out My Way October 13th. That's last Friday?
You're trolling.
I'm not trolling you.
Whoa.
Yeah. I didn't even know about this. It might have been like a music video that dropped before because I feel like he does that. Like just randomly.
Okay, so going back to why I think he wanted to fall off. Maybe he didn't initially want to fall off, but then he thought like his momentum would carry. And then I think he realized he's like, oh, people don't really care that much now. So I think he enjoys being able to release music and not have the people paying attention to him that aren't like his actual fans that are just like, yo, new Lil Skies music, thanks, man, and listen to it. I think that's what he wanted. Not to have the pressure of, damn, I got to stay lit and I got to do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of lose creative control when you're that big.
Yeah.
Because then you kind of have to just drop songs just for
lukewarm fans.
Yeah. You just have to drop songs for the lukewarm fans or just for the numbers.
Yes.
And now you can kind of do whatever you want because he has the money coming in. He has nothing to prove.
When was the last time he complained about something?
Him?
Yeah. Because I know if he complained about something.
Like a year ago.
What was he complaining about?
So
fans?
He was performing at Rolling Loud, I think, and he was jumping around.
Oh, yeah, and
nobody knew his song, and he was wondering why. And it's like, dude, you haven't done shit.
Was it a new song?
No, it was an old song.
Damn.
Yeah.
But it was in Canada.
I don't know where
it was. It was in Canada.
Regardless, Canada is like basically America culture, right?
Maybe.
I feel like it's pretty adjacent. Like not only geographically, but
they've been running down on people in Canada. I don't want to disrespect them. Okay. No, I do think culturally it is pretty different. But it like music translates. Yeah, you're right.
Drake's
like a hit here is a hit there.
Yes. I mean like
especially a hit like
they're tapped in.
Yeah, they're tapped in for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, who's coming out of there? Let's be real.
Drake?
Yeah, what, 15 years ago?
Did you see Drake put on I told you about this. Did the green light on Andrew Tate?
Yeah, that was a funny video. That was a hilarious video.
See, again, I don't think
So do you think Lil Skies wanted to fall off?
No.
So you think I'm going
through his discography.
He's handling it pretty gracefully. Why would he move to middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania then, where he's from, if he didn't want to fall off? You're not Ye.
It's kind of bitch made. Take your foot off the gas.
I mean, you got to want to fall off to do that. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he wanted to fall back. Or let's say fall back, right? We got to dress up the words. I think he wanted to fall back and raise a kid, which rappers don't want to do. You know, Carti, his girl spit out that kid, and he's like, "You're gonna keep raising that kid. F that kid."
He got another one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure
he got another kid.
Yeah.
I thought he gave her an,
1-2.
I thought he got rid of that.
I think he's there. I think it's still his.
Oh, I mean, he got arrested for no reason then.
But I'm saying, if he wanted to fall off, he wouldn't have kept dropping.
Can you spike an abortion pill?
I don't know.
You think Bill Cosby was doing that?
Who?
Bill Cosby.
I don't think like
if they're dropping
I don't
these
think little
pills,
people can have babies.
Yes, they can.
I mean, how young were they?
Bill Cosby wasn't getting with underage chicks.
thought that was the whole thing.
No.
Who was he getting with?
Grown women.
So what was the issue? Oh my God. Oh my God.
The issue is they said, oh, he was giving them quaaludes and stuff like that.
Nah, it was more than that. I mean,
That's what it was. That's literally what it was. They called him Pill Cosby.
I thought it was with fucking kids.
No. Bill Cosby didn't touch no kids. Ever.
You're just saying.
No, it's facts 100%.
Well, because he wasn't.
He wasn't even accused of touching any kid, even close to.
So why was that a narrative?
It wasn't a narrative. You just created this out of your mind.
There's no way.
Dude, I promise you.
I've been living a lie. Bill, what do I even look up for this?
Just look up Bill Cosby. Just look up Bill Cosby charges.
Let's just accusations.
Yeah, you're not going to see minor anywhere associated with that.
There were also 2 instances of alleged CSA.
That's
both
cap.
Involving 15.
That's cap.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it was.
But that wasn't the main thing.
I didn't just make it up, though.
Yeah, honestly, I'd never even heard about that.
Yeah, because I feel like it's worse.
So do you think? You don't think Lil Skies fell off, or it wanted to fall off?
No.
Do you think he wanted to stay lit?
As a man, I think we all want power and like success, right?
Yeah, but what if you've experienced the power and success?
I feel like I think he's even talked about depression, potentially becoming famous, and then I don't know, like all the scrutiny that comes along with that. And that he wanted to fall back, maybe or take a break, let's say, not fall back. And then he thought he was going to come back.
Well, fall back is taking a break.
Okay, yeah. And then come back and like still be lit. But that's just not how social media works anymore. So I think, say like Ugly God.
Mm-hmm.
Ugly God fell back, right? From his, wherever he was, stardom. And then he hasn't really dropped anything yet because he didn't want to fall, like he didn't want that. It was kind of like legal issues.
But he was never as lit as Lil Skies.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, even before the legal stuff happened, he wasn't dropping anything. Ugly God was never going to drop anything, man.
So was he a serious artist or not?
No, I think when he was done, he was like done, but he just kept kicking the can down the road. I think he thinks that he's going to drop, and he had issues with like his Instagram and stuff like that. But even when he had his Instagram, he wasn't going to drop, man. It's just a new excuse to not put stuff out. I think it's like he's his own, like he's got a roadblock in his mind. I don't think Lil Skies is the same. Lil Skies had multiple hits. And Lil Skies was never had a perception issue. Like, Lil Skies was never seen as like, oh, is this person a meme? Oh, is this person going to make serious music? Like, what's the deal with that?
Well, so here's the dates for you. Welcome to the Rodeo was like his debut album. Great album.
No, I thought Life of a Dark Rose was.
You're right. Welcome to the Radio was a great album still, but it was a sophomore album. Okay. So, Welcome to the Rodeo is a song.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Spotify. It's like showing up as singles for some reason.
Shelby was the second album.
Right.
That was where he peaked. He did 51K.
He did 51.
Or 55.
Okay, that's what it was. That was in what year?
2018. 2018.
I'm looking for it. It's not even here. Okay. So, that Life of a Dark Rose was 2017. Shelby was 2019. That was only 2 years, okay? Then he took another 2 years to drop Unbothered. So it's not like
he fell off after that. Unbothered didn't hit.
Right.
That was the one that did 16K, right?
Right. So that's 2 years between each of these albums.
And one of those years was COVID. It was 2020.
Right. That's not falling back. Because that was the same consistent schedule.
But he was dropping singles, and he was in the mix. Like, after Shelby, he was not in the mix. We didn't see him with anybody. He wasn't featuring on anybody's stuff.
So, do you think maybe it was label issues? He was like,
I mean, he was going up, so why would it be a label issue?
well, we all know when artists go up, they start arguing about the payments afterwards.
Yeah.
And so maybe after Shelby, that was 3 albums.
But Unbothered was still on Atlantic.
Shelby was 2 albums.
No, Unbothered was on Atlantic.
So, and so that flopped. And so what I'm saying is, I feel like that was when he's been pretty consistent, honestly, but just in the day and age of social media, 2 years is a long time.
Not gonna lie, it really didn't feel like that. Maybe stuff just started accelerating more. Like that 2 years between Shelby and Unbothered feels like at least 3.
Yeah. I think it's because we're scrolling on the feed more. And so
and I think a lot more artists popped during the time he was gone for that 2 years.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I don't think he meant to do that.
But the 2 years for Life of a Dark Rose, he was popping and doing a bunch of shows and stuff.
Right?
So he was everywhere. And then he comes back with Shelby, and that's the one that had I think, on it. And then
it had Blue Strips.
And then after that, I think he didn't
Nowadays
really,
Part 2.
He didn't really tour on that.
And that was 2020, or that was 2019.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what
Because keep in mind who blew up in 2019. Polo G blew up in 2019. Lil TJ blew up in 2019. Lil Tecca blew up in 2019. Rod Wave took off in 2019. Juice WRLD came after him in 2018. XXX died, but like a bunch of people popped off in 2019.
Well, so
Blueface was in 2019. Now he doesn't really
you're strengthening the argument of he didn't mean to fall off.
Yeah, honestly, maybe I was wrong. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was 3 years.
Because he has 2023 drops, his 2022 drops, 2021 drops, 2020 drops, 2019 drops, all singles I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think my
2018
I think my intuition just crumbled.
I think that he just...
But why wouldn't he collab with any of these guys?
I think he's just bad at social media and branding.
Or like gauging what's going on. I think he unplugs. I think when he unplugged a lot.
Because he blew up off of a Lyrical Lemonade music video, which is not a strong, or it doesn't prove that you knew how to do it yourself in a way, right? Makes great music. Love Lil Sky's music. However, when you basically get, I'm not saying he's an industry plant, but when you basically get planted into the mainstream like that.
Like it happened really quick and it's kind of like, whoa.
You don't know how to keep that going. It's like.
So you're saying, you're kind of giving him props because you're saying he kept it going with good ass music, not knowing how to make like the right.
He had a good brand with like the braids and the tattoos and shit. That was his thing. But then he like did the afro. It's like, bro, you're the braids guy. Right?
Well, I didn't really think too much of that.
It's like
I think you're right. I don't think he corralled his fan base.
And like the polar opposite of that would be Juice WRLD. Blew up off the Lucid Dreams, but like everyone loved him. He knew how to work with all the artists loved him. He knew how to connect with people. He had the music as well. I wouldn't even say he was too active on social media on his own. Like he did Instagram lives and shit, but like I don't know, he was just more in tune with his fan base.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And Lil Sky just didn't know how to do that. So I think he just fell off.
Yeah, honestly,
not having the skill, personally. Because I think more music now is not the songs. You can get the hits, but then to keep it going and have like a core fan base, which I feel like Lil Sky's is dwindling, that you need to have the social media skill or branding at least. Like Yeat.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeat knows how to, the aesthetic, the language, the whatever.
Yeah, he's got everything dialed in.
Yeah.
Or you have to have someone dialed in for him. Now, do you think he can come back?
Lil Skies?
Yeah.
I mean, I think anybody can come back if they get a good song. However, the latest music hasn't been that great. Like, it's nothing like his old music. Like, it's not catchy. It's not... I don't know. He blew up off... This is... A lot of rappers, I feel like, blow up off melodic music because it was popular back in 2017 and so on, that era. And then they think that they need to prove themselves like Yachty with the bars and shit. And then that's what happened with Unbothered. He was more rapping, and then he just, like, nobody cared. That's not the type of music that he got fans from.
Yeah.
Including myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess he did fall off.
Yeah. Did I win the debate?
I mean, it wasn't a debate. We were exploring.
I know.
I mean, you were right. Yeah. Definitely. My intuition was completely wrong. I could have swore it was like 3 years that he didn't drop anything.
I mean, your opinion wasn't like...
And the fact that he dropped last week is crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
Well, okay.
That's how you know he's independent.
It was called Out My Way. Let me look it up on YouTube real quick. Out My Way, Lil Skies. Because maybe it was like a re-release or something. Yeah, it says 3 days ago. It has 152K views on YouTube, though.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
Running ads.
Come on, man. He's independent. He's not doing any of that.
Yeah, he is.
Come on, man. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
You already cooked him too hard today.
Because, like, I'm looking at other YouTube channels that posted the song. They're smaller pages.
I think it makes sense that he gets that much in a couple of days.
Well, TikTok Vibes posted it. It has 803K views.
Wow. Hey,
TikTok.
Maybe we're not tapped in.
Well, I'm seeing reactions. I'm not seeing any.
Who's the distributor for it?
I think it was his own. Let me see. Out My Way. All We Got, which is his own label.
Not bad. I think that's solid.
But, like, back to the... Say Lil Skies was not to have his prior catalog. Is he making good money independently?
You better start releasing a lot more.
Like, let's say it has 1 million views is what it looked like on YouTube. I can't see the Spotify, but 1 million in 3 days. What is
I
it?
think he's got at least 500 on Spotify.
Okay. So let's say he drops. Yeah, you gotta drop a lot of music. Because if he drops 3 songs a year, that's only like $10,000.
Yeah, he can't be dropping out 3 songs a year.
Yeah.
When you're independent, hell no.
Loki gotta drop. If you're independent, you gotta, and they're not pushing it for you all the time. You gotta, or botting it. You gotta be.
You gotta be dropping
every week.
Yeah, you gotta drop a lot.
You're like a YouTuber, but on Spotify.
You gotta drop a lot.
Yeah. But then, are the views gonna, or the plays gonna translate?
Or like in his case, you gotta drop a lot, but. Because, you know, like he already has the audience. He doesn't have to do like all the marketing and shit. If you're like not lit, it's probably just better to drop and then just do whatever content gets the current existing songs popping or whatever.
Do you think labels are offering him money though? Because I feel like they are.
Yeah, of course. Labels are offering Ugly God money.
So what is the thing holding him back from doing that?
I think he's making enough money right now. He's like, I don't want to do this whole thing again. Because I think he knows what it means. If he signs again, he's like, well, I got to go through all of this.
But you can sign a distribution deal. Which he probably did, to be honest.
Probably. I just don't think he thinks it's worth it. I don't think he has high living expenses.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably enjoying life. Not going to lie.
Yeah. That kind of gets me out of my whole mindset of like grind every day for money. And then you're like, I had this conversation with somebody when we were out on the boat where we were talking about seeing aliens. We're like, if you see an alien, like legit, you basically have one of the most valuable experiences, which is what life is about. You can't trade. Would you trade that for $1 billion?
Yeah.
You never remember that you saw an alien.
Fucking alien, bro.
But like, Elon
Probably
Musk.
better off. I don't want to know that I saw an alien.
Elon Musk is spending billions of dollars to go to space, probably to see an alien.
Yeah, but I think it's an ego thing too. Like rich people got egos and compete. It's like, yo, I'm gonna be the guy to do it.
I don't know, man.
Dude, you said you would go to jail for 50 million and you wouldn't trade seeing an alien for $1 billion? You just be chatting, bro.
I mean, like,
Were you high on this boat?
yeah.
Okay, that's just high thoughts, man.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe you're right, but
You would trade that in an instant.
because $1 billion, you could just be chilling all day, every day, not do anything for the rest of your life.
That sounds depressing. But yeah, no, I see how you would say that the experience might reframe the chasing money aspect.
Right.
Yes.
That was the main point.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like if you could live off of no money, I guess that money really you just trade for experiences.
Yeah, in time.
Right. So why are we trading? Why are we chasing money?
Why are you chasing money?
Dude, half the time I don't even know.
Well, I'm not really chasing money.
It's more
like
of a video game to me. It's like, what level can I get to?
Yeah, I mean, if that's how, maybe you've already had enough experiences that you're like, I don't really care about anything new that much. Let me play this game.
I feel like my childhood was lit. Like I went to Europe. I went to South America. I've been in like a lot of places. Maybe that's not a lot to other people, but like I don't like to travel anymore.
Nah, as a kid, that's a lot of places to go.
I live in Miami. I don't know. What else is there to do? I feel like traveling is overrated.
I enjoy it. I do think it is overrated, though. It's not like it's
Because every city's the same.
It's a hassle.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. In America, dude, it's very different. In dude, you go to other countries, it's so different. It's insane.
Well, so I studied abroad in Florence, Italy. That was amazing. That was one of my favorite times. But that's because it was a different, like Florence is kind of stuck in, of course they're advanced in technology, but like you're almost living in the 1700s kind of,
Yeah.
like the architecture and everything. That was cool. But yeah, back to money. I don't know why I make money. I think it's just a dick swinging contest.
Yeah, I think I have a big enough ego that I don't care about money. So maybe you got to up your ego. So
I think I have a big enough ego where I want to dick swing, but like casually. Like kind of the thing where you have a big ass house. You don't say anything about it, but like you invite people
I don't
over.
even, having a big house sounds like a headache to me. Like I can't even fathom having a big house. Like I used to see mansions, I'm like, damn, that's
Have you
a
had a
really
big
cool
house
house.
ever?
No, but I've seen it and I'm like, dude, there's got to be someone cleaning this and there's going to be dust in certain rooms and I've got to fill out the furniture in this. And what if I want to leave? I'm thinking of all the drawbacks instantly.
See, I had a big house.
Like,
kid.
like what I would do is like, oh, I'd rent a house for like 2 months. Like I'd rent a big house.
But see, when
I'd
I
get tired of
rent,
it.
I don't like ever wasting money.
Yeah, but I don't see it as wasting. It's an experience. So I get to experience this thing that I enjoy for 2 months, and then I get to experience something new if I want.
Yeah. No, I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Like one day I'm like, you know what? Money doesn't matter. And then
Well, I mean, you're married. You got a child on the way. You know, that's a different 9 months, guys. That's when the drop is.
I feel like, okay, so as humans, we're tribal, right?
Yeah.
We evolved that way. And so there's like two different economies, or not economies, but like, yeah, economies.
Drivers.
One is money, and then the other is status. I feel like money now is so flourishing that everyone can have money, or like a ton of people can. But there's like this status thing that I think every man seeks, especially because that gets you to women.
I've met some people that literally the other day, I met up with this dude that's made a bunch of money. And he's like, dude, because I was with this other guy that's popular, you know him. And he's like, dude, I've made a bunch of money, but I saw like he's famous, and I saw how people treated him, and I wanted that. And I'm staring at this guy, and I'm just like,
well, there's a difference between status and fame, in my opinion.
yeah, but like,
I'd rather be like a.
but I think a lot of people have money, and they're like, oh, I want the status.
Right. Because I think the status also gets you free shit. It's like,
yeah, but if
you're
you have
exchanging
money,
value
you
in
can
both.
buy the free shit. Dude, I just don't. I can't
Well, I'm not
wrap
talking
my
about the
head
fame.
around. Well, status is a level of fame. It's
Right.
maybe it's
Within
not
a different-
famous
within a community.
but it's yeah.
Yeah. Well, so what I'm saying is, if you have a hella money, you're in these communities, then you're in like a different pool of fish. You might not be the biggest fish in there, but like if you're a big fish in this pool or this community that you're in, that can open doors to wherever you want to go. Right?
Within that, yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, again, humans are tribal people. The community that you care about, you want to be the highest status of that. I don't think the money is necessarily important, but the status is.
I agree.
And I don't even think that I really chase money. I chase more of the status. Again, not fame. Status.
I don't know. I don't know if you. I don't know. Maybe.
Because money
I don't think I'd
opens
attribute that
doors
to you, though.
for the status.
Yeah, but you're not trying to be like the biggest YouTuber.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Well, that would be like
like-
where is this status? Where are the four walls of this status you're chasing? You've got to figure
Just
out
like
the
respect.
subsection.
I feel like every
From
man.
who?
Well, I already respect myself, so it's not even like an insecurity thing. It's kind of like, well, so okay, my dad made a lot of money. I think my main goal in life was get past him.
Okay.
So that was the first thing.
Did you do that yet?
Am I making more money than him? No, but
At
am I-
your age.
at my age, probably.
Okay.
So that's one thing. But
Did he have a kid at your age?
no, he had a kid at like 45.
Really?
My mom had me when she was 42. That was probably another reason why I had a lit childhood, because my parents were like, you know,
They were too lazy to discipline you. They're too old to discipline you.
no. like they were established. I feel like if you have a kid in your 20s, like you're still trying to make it.
Every billionaire had a kid in their 20s.
I feel like a lot of billionaires, they probably had kids after they had the money, though.
No.
Does it make you chase more?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just
Motivates you?
I'm not giving like a reason or a correlation or anything. I'm just like stating the fact. I'm not saying it's better
Yeah.
to have a kid in your 20s. I'm not saying it helped them, but I'm saying that's an interesting fact. But where's like this status thing? Like who?
Just like within your tribe, your community.
What is that tribe? What is that community? Is it your race? Is it your neighborhood?
friends,
Is it your
like-
city?
Like friends and friends of friends and whatever. Like you want to be the big dog, do you not?
Are you not that already?
Not as much as I would like.
Okay, what would change that? They can't see the numbers in your bank account. So that going up isn't going to do anything.
Yeah, it's more of an
Like
internal
if I
thing.
added 2 extra zeros, it's not going to change the way they perceive you because they
it's-
won't even know what happened.
It's more of an internal thing. Like, I know I fuck you up, you know? Like, yeah, I got 2 M's in the bank account. You don't gotta, and that's not even that much money, but
That's a lot liquid.
yes, I more so meant like net worth. Like, I don't feel like you're rich until like 10 mil, or not rich, sorry. You're not wealthy till 10 mil.
And I think 100 is the new 10. 100 is the new like 20 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like if I had 10 M's in the bank, I would not give a fuck. Anyone say a word to me, be like, you're a little guy.
You don't think your status would change?
No, I think it would.
You'd start seeking the respect from a higher
But that's
level of
part
rich
of the
people?
that's part of the game.
Well, that's never ending then.
Yeah. And that's why I'm not like, I don't even,
Well, then you're never going to get the outcome that you want.
right. But that's why I don't really like have goals. I just like, I know I'm doing the things I need to do, and I know it's an everlasting game, but that's why it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not sometimes sitting around and be like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? Then you're probably doing what you want.
I tell you, I don't even check stats on like YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Just put out what I want within reason.
I mean, sounds like you're on the right path then.
I hope so. I talked to Patrick CC about this on stream one time, and I felt like he was a therapist. Like, I don't think he meant to do this to me, but it made me feel like he thought I was. I don't know. It made me feel like I was doing the wrong things.
I don't think
by the
that.
questions.
I don't think that at all.
Okay.
I mean, I'm obviously not doing the same thing, but I don't think it's wrong. Like, unless you're like sitting there like, yo, what have I been doing the last 6 months? Why am I even doing this? And I feel like whenever that's happened, you've made adjustments. Like when you took a big break from YouTube, you're like, yo, what am I doing? Or when you got a job and you're like, yo, I'm just sitting around all day playing video games. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
So you've clearly made adjustments when you felt like,
I think
your
I think that's
existence
normal.
wasn't going the way it wanted to go.
I think everyone goes through that.
Goes through what?
Life gets monotonous.
Yeah, but I don't think people take the steps to change it.
Oh, for sure. And by the way, everyone, that was not a Patrick CC diss at all. He's making way more bread than me, so I can't even.
Wait, when did you even diss him?
I don't know. I was saying like.
No, you just said he asked you a couple questions. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know. People take shit the wrong way.
Dude, I feel like you plant stuff in people's head. I don't even see how people could take that the wrong way.
I don't know. Do you feel like that sometimes?
Nah. Dude, I can't complain. Like, there's just no...
What's your goal?
Experience more shit. Like, make cooler stuff. I want to do bigger stuff. Like, bigger production, bigger ideas, bigger impact, cooler, more unique stuff. That's really it. Like, there's no monetary... I don't think I have, like, a monetary goal necessarily. Yeah, there's, like, a certain amount where I'd feel more comfortable, but I'm definitely not worrying in any capacity or concerned.
Yeah.
At all.
I don't worry either.
Now, if I look at doomer stuff, if I open up Twitter and people are like, yo, the world's about to go...
I never believe that.
And you're going to stop making money and, people aren't going to... Then, yeah, I'm like, I'll probably get a little bit stressed out and then I'll close Twitter.
You don't ever think you're doing something wrong?
No. Well, when I'm stagnant, like when I'm like, what am I doing? When I feel like I'm doing stuff for money and I'm not enjoying it, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? I'm wasting my time. That's why I think it's so important for people that, like, obviously not everyone's going to experience this, but I think it's important for people to make a certain amount of money fast, but like as soon as possible, so they realize that they care about money a lot less than they thought. Like, I think a lot of people, if you just gave them like 10K a month, they wouldn't like want to make more money. They'd be like, oh, whoa, like I'm going to do a bunch of other things. And I think some people, but it's different if you give somebody money than, let's say they start doing something, you somehow hack it to where like, oh, they're all built something to make 10K a month. I think once they get to that level, a lot of people are like, well, I don't really care
Is
to
it
make
worth
it to
the
100.
effort?
Yeah. Like,
And the stress.
do I want to use this? Because like some people, what they do is they'll make 10K and they'll go live in some country where it's significantly cheaper, and then they can just like travel around and experience different stuff, and then maybe later on they'll want to make more money.
Like just living off $10,000 or 10,000?
No. Like they know that it's gonna keep.
Oh, okay.
And they'll like stagnate, which it's difficult to stagnate, but they'll stagnate and then just kind of like enjoy their life and live off of that money and do the same level of work or whatever. And there are some people that will take the money that they're making and invest it in stuff that loses money, but they're just passionate about it. Like some people are like, hey, I'm making this amount of money now. I can put my foot on the gas and make more and continue to make more and build this and take that time away. Or I could just spend that time, learning to produce on a freaking keyboard or whatever the hell. And that's something I've always wanted to do, but I was always stressed about money. So now I can just do this for fun and learn this new skill.
I agree.
So I think a lot more people, you know,
when they're not wages.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough life.
Yeah. Although I feel like my life completely changed when I got a job.
Yeah, it straightened you out. Like, free time is not good for you.
No. No, it's not. I knew that, though.
Yeah.
I've known that ever since high school.
Like, I need free time because that's when I do all of my thinking. Like, if I have a packed schedule, I'm just like, what the hell am I doing? I'm like, I feel like a robot. Like, I'm doing from this to this to this to this to this to this. I need like a bunch of free time to just sit and just stare and just think. That's how I come up with all my ideas.
I come up with my ideas when I'm so busy that it forces me to get someone else to do something for me.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that helps everyone because I'm like pushing people more. And I have like a high, I don't know, like not standard, but I don't know. I work hard. So like when I ask somebody to do something, I'm paying them, obviously. It's like a net positive for everyone.
Yeah. You set the standard.
Right.
But I need deadlines though, because if I don't put a deadline on myself, then I just keep coming up with new ideas and never executing on anything, or like taking too long.
See, that's why I don't like free time too, because like there's that.
That's the problem. Free time, when you're making money with like low effort and you've like minimized the amount of time to make that money, you can do a lot of nothing.
Right. I think there's like some sort of study where if you give yourself a deadline, you'll take up all that time to do it.
Yes.
Whereas if, like, say I'm busy, I have to finish something today because I know I'm doing hella shit tomorrow, like, you'll get it done.
Yes.
Efficiently. That's what I like.
I mean, I've done that a bunch of times, like where I'm like, oh man, I'm going to spend a week, an hour a day to write this script, right? Because I haven't even started it. I'm like, I can do an hour a day. And then I'll start, and I'm like, yo, I'm already an hour in. Why am I going to stop? And then like 5 hours later, it's a longer script. And then I'm like, I might as well just finish this thing today. Yeah. Because if I start something, it's kind of like inertia. If I start something, I'm way less likely to stop without finishing it. Like, I'll get angry if I don't finish.
Yeah. The stressful part is like thinking about like, oh, I don't want to forget about this part that I want to put in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happens to me a lot.